In a world obsessed with showing off, achievements, relationships, even breakfast, some people remain invisible. No selfies, no highlights, no constant updates. And yet, somehow they have more peace, more clarity, and more confidence than everyone else. Because silence isn't insecurity, it's self-assurance. People who stay off the feeds aren't afraid to be seen. They've simply outgrown the need to be seen. And psychology says their behavior reveals far more about their mind than any picture ever could. So let's break down the real psychology behind people who don't post their photos on social media. 1. Privacy over popularity. Psychologists found that people who rarely post pictures usually have a high privacy orientation. They value control over what others get to know about them. Not because they're hiding, but because they protect their mind from noise, comparison, and unnecessary attention. While most people seek validation through likes, these individuals rely on self-validation. They don't perform for approval. They don't stage their achievements. Their growth is personal, sacred, and private. They don't need the feed to tell them who they are. They already know. Real confidence doesn't need an audience. It doesn't announce itself. It simply exists, quietly, calmly, unmistakably. Because some people don't trade their peace for attention. 2. They have strong self-awareness. Research shows that people who share less online often have a clearer sense of who they are. They know their values, their boundaries, and what actually matters to them. They don't need trends or external approval to feel grounded. And because they're anchored internally, they don't chase validation, they protect their peace. They understand that the most meaningful parts of life don't have to be displayed for applause. Their joy is real, not performed. Their confidence is quiet, not advertised. They know the cost of constant visibility, and they choose to stay accessible only to the people who truly matter. 3. They're emotionally secure. People who post less often have something psychology calls secure self-esteem, a form of confidence that doesn't need attention to stay alive. They don't post selfies to prove their worth because they already feel complete. Their self-image isn't built on reactions, it's built on reality. But here's the part most people misunderstand. Their silence isn't absence, it's focus. While others broadcast their progress, these people build theirs. They're creating their art, growing their businesses, recentering themselves, mastering the next version of who they are becoming, not the version they are showing. They're not checking in with strangers, they're checking in with themselves. They're not falling behind, they're often far ahead, because while others are posting, they're doing. And mastery in anything demands one thing: undivided attention. 4. Deep thinkers. People who stay quiet online aren't empty, distant, or disconnected. They're simply thinking. They reflect before they react. They speak only when something actually matters. And that comes from a psychological trait called internal locus of evaluation, meaning they judge themselves by their own standards, not by the noise around them. But there's something deeper. They're lone wolves by choice, not antisocial, just energetically selective, not withdrawn, just wise. They know what happens when you give too many people access to your attention, your emotions, your nervous system. So they choose to lead themselves. They move in silence. They share intentionally. They show up only when it adds value, not when it adds noise. Their privacy isn't avoidance. It's a boundary. It's what makes their presence powerful when they do decide to be seen. Because lone wolves don't chase the pack. They build their own path. At the end of the day, the psychology is simple. You don't need to be loud to be powerful. You don't need to be public to be growing. You don't need to be seen to be significant. Sometimes the greatest version of you is built in the moments when nobody is watching. In the silence, in the discipline, in the parts of your life that never make it online. Disappear and become someone great. Because here at Valid Mind, we don't chase attention. We decode the human mind.